I felt and saw this presence of something like a ghost.
As I was reaching for my keys, something growled at me coming out of the basement.
It was bad energy. I was sort of feeling like I was letting Satan out of hell.
I saw out of the corner of my eye what I thought was the girl falling off the roof.
I couldn't think. It was so loud and I was so terrified that I just froze.
I'm not calling for that. I'm calling because I'm freaking out here.
I felt this presence trying to push itself down on top of me very violently.
It would not go away. It was freaking me out. I look at my arm and it's got a scratch on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghost of Greystone, Beverly Hills. This is episode 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lucky 13.
Yeah.
Lucky Kristen 13.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Action.
All right, let's do it.
Can you believe this?
No, I can't. Number 19.
This is wild.
It is.
It sure is. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghost of Greystone, Beverly Hills. That's right. Oops.
Oh.
Action.
Oh my God.
Well, see, this is now because
Yeah.
we're doing it. It's working.
Uh-huh.
It's finally working. This is your problem.
You're not working, but this is.
What an ass. You good?
Ready to go.
Ladies.
Fire it up.
And gentlemen, this is show 20, Ghost of Greystone, Beverly Hills. This is it. We're tapping out. Done. So get ready, my friends. Here we go. Action.
Beautiful. Show 20.
Show 20. Good
Energy.
Lord. I'm ready. You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to Ghost of Greystone, Beverly Hills. My name is Clete.
And I'm Chris.
And we are those Keith brothers. And guess what? You made it to the 20th. We
made it to the 20th.
To the 20th show. So we're really excited that we got to get this far to the very end. And this show is going to be called Here, There, and Everywhere.
That's right.
And all the stories you're going to hear today, tonight, tomorrow, wherever you are outside on the property itself, not inside the mansion. And it's crazy outside in the property as well, and you're going to find out.
This
We're
is
gonna
a
have,
good one.
Yeah, apparitions, black shadows, attacks, and electrified.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
You're going to love that one. That's a really good one, too.
Yeah.
There's some great ones that corroborate each other.
Right.
You're going to love it.
Okay, and before it starts,
Yes.
I have a couple things.
Yes.
One is Here, There, and Everywhere. Did you know that was Paul McCartney and John Lennon's it was the most underrated song of all their songs, and they said that was the one they picked that they liked the most.
Oh,
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
looked that
and
up.
I'm a Beatle freak.
I know you are. And that's the one they said they liked the best. There's a
It's
song called
really
Here,
beautiful.
There, and Everywhere, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I chose that title because of the Beatles for this.
Oh, and you didn't even know that little hint,
No, because you're always so great. Give it a rest.
Yeah, and sorry, there is no sound of the week this week.
Yeah,
Last
yeah.
week we have something.
Something.
Should I?
Well, we have something different.
We have something different.
It's not. It's
Very different, but it's fun.
Yeah.
We wanted something to end on a little different, something fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So
won't be that great for the people listening.
I was just thinking about that, Ryan. We should have done a sound and then something else.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there'll be sound, but you'll set it up.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Listen to it. Jump over to YouTube.
Yeah.
There'll be a chapter marking for it. You'll know what it is when you hear this episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's start in because I'm very excited about this show, man. I love the stories we have outside the mansion.
Right.
So tell me what's our first story?
First up involves Ranger Chan. This one also relates to episode 11 from the break room.
Okay. Yeah, I can correlate that, I think. Chan, who kind of has the gift, told me that he called me not long after this situation took place. And He is, I think I'm just going to let him tell you.
Yeah,
I was gonna
thank you. I was just going to jump in and
took me
say
20
stop.
shows.
Stop. Stop right there.
Okay.
We'll play the first one.
Yeah. Because this is really bizarre, but we've heard this kind of thing before.
Yes, we have. Here we go.
Yep.
So I came here at 6:30 in the morning, pulled up to the driveway, went up to the west courtyard, stopped my car there. First thing to go in to, unlock the gate and unlock the mansion and do that first before I head up top. Well, this morning it was a beautiful day, nice day, so I backed my car in to take a picture of the car in the background with the Greystone. Upon taking a picture of it, my back was turned towards the Richie Rich gate. I'm taking photos of the car, and I thought behind me in the courtyard, a sound like a man moaning in pain. So I continued taking pictures, turn around, walk towards the Richie Rich gate, and then unlock the lock and chain of it, and make a whole bunch. The chain makes a lot of rattling noise and stuff like that. But inside the courtyard, I thought I could hear that same agony and pain, man groaning. So I held the chain tight to keep it from rattling, making any sort of noise. Probably just caught like a little end of it, like and then it just cuts out. I'm like, nah, can't be. So I opened the gate, continue into the courtyard, walked inside the mansion, unlocked it, disarmed the alarm, and I stood inside inside the front entrance. Quiet. All right. Just continue walk out to the courtyard. Attempt to walk towards the fountain to turn it on. Right when I pass the courtyard, and I thought I heard the same sound again. And that was just like, I felt now saying, okay, definitely, I know it's the man screaming and acting in pain, but it's like distant, it's far. I'm like, don't know pinpoint where, if it's coming from the basement, in the mansion, but it's that place, that the bowl of the courtyard, so I can't really pinpoint precise where the sound comes from. So I stood there in silence for maybe like a minute just to see, okay, can I hear the sound again? Hopefully I could pinpoint exactly right. And nothing. I'm like, okay, fine. So I continue walking towards, open up the courtyard door, the double wooden door. As I open up the wooden door, it makes a lot of noise. I thought I hear the sound. Now I'm closer to the kitchen, cave-in kitchen door now, because it's by the wooden door. And I heard that sound again, so I stopped the wooden door in place and I stood there, and I just catch a little bit, the end part of it. It's like, and I just faint. So from that point, it's like I recall hearing a recording that's recorded many years ago. Like you Clete or Steve, that's played the sound, and we played that a lot on the tour. And that one sound that I did recognize was the very same sound that's on that recording.
What sounds are you talking about? Screams and wails?
Screams and wails.
Oh.
So what we played for you before on, I don't know what episode it was, where we played the screams and wails and you cleaned it up and everything and played it, that's what he's hearing in the courtyard.
But he described it as a moaning away, like a.
But it was probably more of a. And if you listen to that guy, it goes scream. So that's probably what he's hearing again. It's just so incredible.
He referred to the bowl of the courtyard, and the bowl is like the center. When you're standing in there, it's really hard to discern where a sound is coming from because there's echoing. It's all surrounded by limestone, isn't it?
That's right.
So it's echoes no matter where you are. You can't kind of tell where the sound's coming from, even when you're talking.
Right.
It's an odd place.
Yeah, but I'm guessing he's correct. And there are windows to the north side of the servants' wing that are open down in the basement. Remember that, where people would step on that metal and it was gang, gang, against the wall.
No.
You don't remember that?
No, I have to look at it.
All right. Okay.
I'm visual.
Yeah. So there are literally like an open window down below in the basement that you can hear the fountain running and everything. It's
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, and so
I see.
that would be an area in which
Down
you would
there.
hear a voice or something down inside that mansion. What is that incredible? That's just a great story.
Yeah, that's pretty freaky.
Man, oh man, to hear that, and that's remember he's opening up. So he's opening up the Richie Rich gates, which were built for Richie Rich the film. We just left them in there because it closes off the inner courtyard to the public from the outside of the West Court. So he's there by himself early morning, and he's hearing this. It's just amazing.
The next story.
Yeah.
This is a bizarre story that we haven't had as yet. This is with Dan Hernandez.
Oh, is this in the AFI lot?
Yes, it is, I believe.
Okay.
Outside the mansion.
Yeah, it has to be. It's outside. AFI lot.
This interview took place 2 days after the incident.
Okay.
By the way.
Okay, so the AFI lot is a small little lot that's right off the firehouse. It's on the east side of the firehouse. And
AFI is the AFI?
American Film Institute, when they were there. So, and then right off that restroom, the men's restroom, is the AFI lot. So this was, Dan got a hold of me and told me about it. We did the interview, like Chris said, 2 days later. And this is a bizarre one. This is really strange. Let's let Danny get into it.
Really? You're going to let Dan tell a story instead of you?
So he pulls up.
Yeah. No. I forgot the second thing I was going to mention, by the way, when we started.
Yeah.
I had the first thing, and then the second thing was...
What?
That. Why is that sitting there? Why did you put that there?
I didn't put it there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to Dan. Here we go.
I come in, I drive in down the driveway, and my normal routine, I back into the parking space in the AFI lot. And this time was, and this time only, well, this is the only time that I backed into the handicap spot. My first time ever. I usually park right next to the handicap spot. So I don't know if this has anything to do with it. I don't know. And you know, I'm on my phone. I'm looking at YouTube videos.
And what time is this?
This is 5:45, 5:50 a.m. Dark. I'm watching YouTube videos, and all of a sudden I hear like this scratching, and I felt the scratching on my car. And I hit pause of the video that I was playing, and I'm looking in all of my mirrors, my right mirror, my left mirror, my rear view mirror, and I don't see anything, but I'm frozen because I'm just looking. My eyes are just going back and forth at each mirror to see if I see anything.
Now, while you're looking in your mirrors, is the scratching going on at that time, or was it over by then?
It was over by then. It happened so fast, but it was a little delay to it because while I was watching the videos, it was happening so it was probably like a good long 3 seconds of this, and my car was like bumped or something, and like a scratching on the car.
And where was the scratching?
It was towards the trunk and the back windshield. Back window, I should say.
And so what did you do once you heard that?
I actually just stood in my car because I was freaked out. And then I got out, about a minute later and didn't see anything. And didn't notice any scratches on the car or anything.
Did you feel anything?
When I got out of the vehicle, no.
Okay.
No.
It wasn't a bird or something that landed in the back?
No, it wasn't a bird. It wasn't a bird. It just, I don't know what it was.
But you said like there was movement to the car?
Yeah, my car felt like it was moved, like it was bumped.
What do you think it was? Honestly, what do you think it was?
Well, I mean, the stories have been going around, and there's some type of entity near the AFI lot and restrooms here, and so it must be something like that.
But nothing you could rationally say, oh, it was a tree branch because you're parking under a tree.
Oh, I mean, they're in essence bushes, but yeah, they weren't touching my car, or I wasn't that close to it, so yeah, nothing like that could have rubbed. Just weird. It was weird.
And it moved. You felt like it actually moved your car?
Oh yeah, my car like shook a little bit. I mean, it was, and that's why I stopped my video right away. I'm like, this is not happening right now, but it was happening, and it was dark. I mean, it was 5:45, 5:50. This time of the year, it's dark in the morning.
Wow. I mean. The way he explained it.
That's Ranger Dan.
Ranger
Hernandez.
Dan, Senior Ranger Dan, and it's scary. But imagine being there in your vehicle by yourself, and it's dark, and that AFI lot is wild, man. And there are other stories that are in the book of people talking about seeing black shadows. Andrea. A light comes on inside a little, it's like a storage unit right across the AFI lot. She's there and the light comes on and she's looking at it going, there's no way that light can come on. It has to be somebody inside and it's locked. That area is crazy.
Yeah.
And that really shook up Dan. I remember that, talking to him. He was like, God, it was just, afraid to go back. Afraid to go back and park there because you don't know.
I could see why. I mean, he's all alone and it's 5:45 or whatever in the morning, and there's no light. It's not even
it's really dark. Yeah, that must have been really scary for him. Yeah.
Well, the next up is Jesse, and he has a similar thing. So this corroborates Dan in a way. This was actually horrifying, and this guy, I never could get in touch with him after I interviewed him. Oh,
I tried to find him. Could not find him. Jesse, if you're out there, thanks
for a follow-up? Or?
Yeah, just thanks for doing the interview. He worked for a security company. And what happened to him in the AFI lot is off the charts. You're going to...
We're going to hear it, or do you want to talk about it?
Well, let me tell you, he pulls up.
All right, hang on. Let's go. You want to hear it now?
All right,
here we go.
Lousy.
My truck was parked right here.
In the AFI, called the AFI lot, yeah.
Okay, at the AFI lot. And I was in my truck, and then suddenly...
Tell me what time this is. What?
I mean, it was probably like around 11:30.
At night? Okay.
Everybody's gone. They closed the gates. And so I'm there. The first day was fine. Second day, because I stayed here for 4 nights.
Okay.
So I said day is night. Okay, so the second night's when I started feeling like something was out there, outside my window. My driver's side.
Now you're sitting. Are you in the parking spots that are marked? Or are you in the center of the parking lot?
I was in the
marked spots.
Marked spots.
Okay.
And so I'm parked long ways, and so that's when I started feeling like somebody was actually right there, right close to my window, just staring at me, and you could feel it. You know how you feel when there's a presence, someone's there, And so since I started feeling that, I got kind of scared, and I might give it here. They started
got like goosebumps.
Yeah, I started getting goosebumps, and so what I did was I looked at my jacket because I had my jacket on the passenger seat. I grabbed it. Since I was kind of scared because I was like, I'm feeling like someone's looking at me. So I put the jacket covering the window.
To cover the window.
And I stayed just like that, just holding my jacket with my head. And I'm still feeling like someone's there, just standing out there looking at me, staring at me. And that was the whole night. Now the third night, I had to come back again, so I came back again.
Now, can I ask you a question? So each night that you were parked there, the first 3 nights, you felt like something was out there.
Someone was out there.
All night?
All night.
Okay.
It was creepy, yeah. But the third night is when something happened where I'm in the same spot, and so I'm in the truck. I'm still feeling like someone's there staring at me. But this time, I didn't feel like no one actually got in the back of my truck. But, you know, my cabin, someone hit it 4 times, really hard. And that was like around, I think, 1 o'clock at night, in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. But they hit it, it was like a hand. Just 4 times slammed it, you know?
On the back of...
on the top of my cabin.
Of the cab?
Yeah, the cab, yeah.
So you're talking about the cab behind you or your cab?
No, my cab where I'm sitting. But I didn't feel anybody actually getting on top of my truck. So back then and then, when that happened, I'm thinking, okay, should I look? I mean, I got mirrors. Should I look? No, but if I see something, I'm gonna get. So my mind's playing games with me now. Okay, what do I do? Do I look? Do I not look? But what if I see something? So it still beat me. I had to look. So I looked, nothing. So I got off of the truck. I looked. There was nobody anywhere around to be seen. So who hit the top of my cab?
So you actually got out of the truck and looked around. Wow.
And there was nobody there, nothing there. But I'm still, I got that, feeling,
goosebumps.
That someone's there.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, and then after that, what I did, I drove down. I was like, that's it. I can't stay here. I drove down. You need a combination to open the gate.
Yeah.
Back then, I don't know if you used to do that. But I put the combination and I just stayed over there. I locked the gate and I stayed out
right
there.
Right outside the gate.
Right outside the gate.
Outside
and I was like, I'm not gonna go in there anymore. So I stayed out there, and then in the morning, one of those water trucks, the water guys, in the white trucks, he saw with the light on top. He saw me. He's like, hey, so who's been staying all these nights here? And I was like, well, it's me. Yeah. He's like, have you seen anything? Has anything happened while you've been here? And I was, I don't know what's going on because nobody told me this place was, haunted. So yeah, so I'm like, yeah, it's been me, So you haven't seen anything, nothing's happened. And then that got me thinking, and it reminded me of what had just happened. So I told him about what happened, and he was just so.
Let's write this down.
Oh, okay. He was just so impressed, and he just kept on, asking me, so what was it? How did it happen? Blah, blah. So I kept on telling him what happened and stuff. And then the next night, I didn't want, I came in the beginning because everybody's here, but right after everybody left, I did the same thing. I went out there, I just stayed over there because I didn't want to be in here, But I had a headache for 4 days straight because of what happened.
So you never saw anybody, and there's no way you didn't have any other guards that was playing a prank on you or anything?
No, there was nobody here, just me. They just wanted one guard. Wow. For those 4 nights in a row.
You're brave to do what you did.
I didn't know.
But the first 3 nights, when you're feeling something, that's creepy.
Well, if you knew that this place is haunted, then you wouldn't have done it. You wouldn't have stayed. And then as soon as you started feeling that, I was just gone out. But I didn't know. They just kept the first night when I was about to stay. Everybody kept on asking, "Oh, so who's gonna stay the night?" And then everybody kept on just smiling, laughing at me because I was gonna stay. And I kept on asking them, "So what's going on? How come you guys are laughing?" And they just kept on laughing. But nobody told me anything. I guess nobody wanted to stay. Most of the guards already knew about this place, wow. And I was new back then. That was my first day. So nobody wanted to tell me. Nobody told me anything. And
so they all knew,
but they didn't want to tell me.
Right. They probably had experiences or knew about experiences here and let the new guys stay here.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to do it.
Did you ever tell them about what happened?
Yeah, I told everybody about it.
Did you remember what they said?
They were just no, nobody believes you. They think you're just making it up. Or you fell asleep and you dreamt about it. Yeah, come on, you can't. You're feeling like someone's here. You can't sleep like that.
Wow.
You get the goosebumps. But that's what happened to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's the real deal here.
And so,
It's
and so then that water guy, he told me the whole story about what happened here, the things that, you know, incidents. And so I was like, oh my goodness. That's why I said, oh my goodness, I can't believe I stayed here. I would have not stayed if I would have known.
Would you, if they said, hey, this place is haunted, would you have believed it?
It would have been in my mind. I mean, and that could have played games with my mind. And even though things would have been happening, then, you know, I mean, think about it. I mean, I would have had that in my mind. So I'm thinking, wait, no, it's probably not true. It's not happening. Right. But then when this happened, you know, I mean, if that would have happened, I don't know what would have happened. Yeah. Because then, like you said, I would have known.
Yeah.
So it would have been worse.
So it's actually better that you didn't know.
Yeah, because I was all by myself.
Yes, not only is it
better. And it was locked. So I had the combination.
Yeah.
I still had to get off of the truck. And so if I would have known, oh my gosh, I don't know what would have happened. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's so much better that you didn't know, because then, first of all, you're not thinking it's haunted, so you have no frame of reference to like, oh, this was going to be a scary night. So you're just sitting there, but you're starting to feel things.
Right.
And I wonder why it hit your truck on the third night. Why didn't it do the first night? Right? Who knows? But that's interesting.
Yeah.
That you're feeling it, you're hiding it, you're like, I don't want it, boom, then hit.
And hard 4 times. Just landed 4 times.
Wow.
Yeah, it was tough. I had a headache for 4 days. I can't forget that. Yeah.
So was it 4 days during your time here, or 4 days after you left? You know what I mean?
That
your headache, was it while you were here?
Well, no.
4 days after.
As soon as that happened, you know, that night. From then on.
Those days after that hamming on a thing.
I had this headache. It's just terrible. Yeah, because I couldn't forget it. And then knowing that I have to come back again, you know, I mean that.
So you had how many? You had to come back after
one more night.
One more night. Were you dreading?
I was
just like, I don't want to come back here. Yeah.
It was just bad.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That is insane.
And here he is talking about the water guys, because up in the top is a 20 million gallon water reserve.
Reservoir.
Reservoir underneath the parking lot. And so that's the DWP in essence for Beverly Hills. So they have to come and check the water and do all that stuff. So they know all about it. They know the place is haunted. Everybody knows the place is haunted.
This poor guy, they never told him. Who was they? Who's he talking about that we're talking about?
Other security guards.
Oh.
So he's a brand new security guard where they were shooting a film or a series. And so then you always have a security guard. If there's a Jenny out there or whatever.
Generator.
They'll be out there and make sure nobody comes in and does whatever to it. So
it's just standard to have, have the set locked down and security.
Every time you shoot, there's security guards. And this poor guy, his first night, and everybody's laughing at him. And then when he tells them, something did happen, they don't believe him.
Well, the funny thing is why wouldn't they believe him? Because he's not. Why would he make something up when he didn't even know about it?
Right. I don't.
He's asking them, was this place haunted?
But again, it's justification. Yeah. Even the people that know it's haunted hear it from somebody who says, no, guess what happened to me? They go, yeah, right, come on.
Yeah.
They don't believe it.
Yeah.
So, boy, was that a great story? That poor guy, man. And I wanted to talk to him again. I had other questions I wanted to ask him, and I couldn't find his number.
Jesse, if you're out there, please get a hold of us.
Yeah. It's just, what a great story, man. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor guy, man. Well, we don't want to say that name.
Okay, I'll bleep it out.
We'll take that out.
Is he what?
He goes by G.
Oh, okay.
Remember
All
that?
right, we'll go by G.
Yeah.
This is a strange story.
This is I think it's one.
The only one like it is.
Yeah, this is the only one we had. I mean, we've had other things happen in the restroom, which we'll talk about. But this was an odd one because it came out of the blue for this guy, and he was like really thrown.
Oh.
So, and the ranger he's talking about is Ranger Patrick. Who was outside in the AFI lot at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's listen to it.
Roll.
We're the audio integration company doing the AV in the theater.
Okay, so you're working on the theater here at Greystone.
Yes.
And then your first day here, tell me what happened.
Second day here.
Okay.
First day here was during the bid interview, pre-bid interview.
Okay.
meeting, I should say. And then my second day, on my second trip here, what was that for? I forgot what it was. A brief meeting with someone on site. And before leaving, we had to lay out the cable tray and the projection booth. And before leaving, I figured I'd use the restroom because I don't know how long my commute would be. So let me relieve myself before I leave. And so I'm in the restroom. I'm the only one in the restroom. The door is open. I can see the door from my peripheral, so I know no one walked in while I was in. I remember on the way in, the 3 stalls, I think there were 3 stall doors. They were both swung open, wide open, so I could tell there was no one in there. The stall to my left, which is the handicap stall, that one was also open. So I know for sure no one else was in the restroom. And I'm using the restroom, and I hear...
So you're standing at a urinal using...
Yes, I'm standing at a urinal, and to my right, my estimation is no more than 4 feet, 5 feet to my right is audibly I heard... And it startled me because there's no one to my right. And so I thought maybe someone had walked in and they're in the stall, even though, so I'm tricking myself. Based on my perception, that was closer than the stall, but since there's no one there, it must be someone in the stall. So as I got done, I did this to see if I saw some feet there, and there's no feet. So I go, it must be a child, and they're standing on the toilet seat. So I walked around and I looked at the door, and the door is still in the position that it was. When I walked in, no one was there. The other 2 stalls, no one was there. And now I'm like, am I hearing things? So I still didn't believe, because I'm like, there's no way, maybe I'm tired. So I go outside, and the ranger was sitting in his truck. He was actually getting ready to leave. The engine was running. And I said, hey, tell me something. Is this place haunted? And I was kidding at that point. I wasn't serious because I'm thinking there's no way. So the reaction I'm expecting from him is, no, get out of here. Why would you say that? And he turns his truck off and goes, what do you mean? Well, yes, it is. Well, what do you mean? And I go, really? And he said, yeah. We've had events like this. And I go, no, dude, you're serious? And he goes, yeah. And so he walks me over. He wants me to show him where it happened. And I said, this restroom. And he goes, this restroom? And he goes, and I said, yeah, why is that a big deal? And he goes, just last week, I think he said last week, one of the cleaning personnel was there, a female, and she had her hair pulled. And so now I'm getting goosebumps all over, like, okay, so that was really an encounter. And I was like, wow. So that was the was the start and finish of my encounter, or my experience.
Okay, so did you feel any energy, any buzz or anything while you were there? Not because you were afraid, but energy off of anything that might have been in there with you?
I can't say I did.
Okay.
I can't say I recall feeling any difference in the environment or any energy, whether chills or heat or no. I don't remember feeling anything.
And the sound was did it sound male or female?
It sounded like a male.
Okay.
That's a deep, heavy sigh, and I can't even guess what the mood would have been. Is it tired and I'm not relieving with the sigh, or is it frustration? I don't know what it was. I just know I heard a deep male, sounding like a male's voice, tone, a deep sigh, heavy sigh.
And you thought it was possibly in the stall next to you? That's where it sounded like it came from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, but thinking it was a child...
Because I saw no feet on it.
Exactly. But the voice sounded more like an adult?
Adult, yes, absolutely adult.
Okay.
It wasn't a child. It was an adult. Okay. I just only thought maybe it's a child because I saw no feet. Because only a child would stand on the seat. And so, I can't see their feet.
What do you think it was?
What do I think it was? Well, what else could it be? It's kind of like, even though I'm in technology, I still don't know how half the things we do work, right? What happens inside the box. But I know it works. I know if I connect the speaker and I connect it to this amplifier and that person talks on the microphone, some way, somehow their diaphragm transmits energy into the speaker. The diaphragm in the microphone works and it sends that signal out to the speaker, and now the diaphragm in the speaker vibrates and you hear the sound. But beyond that, I can't tell you what else happens inside the box. So I use that as an example. I can't tell you how the non-living would be able to make audible sounds or make things move or make people hear things that are not there. Because I've heard, after mentioning this to other folks, I've heard that I guess the night crew, when they go lock up inside the theater, after walking away from the door, they hear like the whole building collapse, and they open the door and everything is the same. I don't know how something that's not tangible, that's not there, can physically make things move and sound, I don't know. But I know what I heard. So that's one more event in the 47 years that I've been alive to help me maybe convince me that it is possible. So even if I was unbeliever before, now I believe a little bit more because I heard it.
Okay.
Someone didn't tell me. I experienced this for myself.
And so, what is your final conclusion, and what did you think it might be? Because I don't know. I'm asking what your feeling is.
Well, you know, adding all the data that I've gathered from the stories that people have told me, their experiences, or you know, whether firsthand or secondhand, it has to be maybe someone that lived here years ago, and you know, maybe they're unhappy with all the activity. I don't know if this is the most, I don't know how many upgrades they've had here in the last several years. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe they're just not happy with the changes. And so they're a little unsettled. And so I don't know if the things that we hear or experience is just frustration or it's frustration and with the goal is to scare people away. Like, hey, leave us alone, get away from here, don't do that, don't touch this. So I don't know. It seems like whoever it is unhappy with strangers meddling with their stuff.
Very astute.
Oh yeah,
guy,
yeah. Articulate.
Really, yeah.
Very,
what a cool dude.
But he had great information.
Yeah, and that is, again is not. There were a lot of things that happened in that restroom. Not a lot. Only one thing that I remember in the female restroom. But in the male restroom, quite a few things, and one which is in the book, but we didn't have, because it's my story, having talked to a guy who was on a film, and he went into that restroom. Place is packed with people. It's at night doing a movie, and he went in to wash his hands after he'd used the restroom. Washed his hands, and he looks in the mirror, and in the mirror behind him, he sees a man standing there. And we were all out by the craft services. Everybody's eating. It's a break and everything.
Well, did somebody just walk in?
Well, that's what he came up to me and said, I don't believe in all this stuff. I said, I'm not asking anybody to believe in it. I'm just telling you the stories that we've heard, because they asked me. He goes, can I talk to you for a minute? And we walk away. He goes, I was just in the restroom and I was washing my hands, and I looked in the mirror, and behind me there was a guy standing there. And I said, well, was it somebody from the crew or whatever? He goes, no. He was dressed like back in the 20s or 30s or something. I said, really? And he said, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm really struggling with this, because he didn't believe in it. I took him inside the house, took him up in the servant's wing into a room where we have all these photos that were used to put out in the house during tours and stuff like that. And I said, was it this guy? No. Could have been one of these guys. No. Was it this guy? That's him. Who is that guy? That's what he says to me. I said, his name is Hugh Plunkett. What is he? He was murdered in the mansion. That was it for him.
Oh my
Boy,
gosh.
he snapped.
Really?
Oh my God. What did I just see? What? And yeah. He flipped out. I didn't see him the rest of the night. I don't know if he went home or whatever.
Was this way before you were even documenting? That was just something that happened.
No, so I wrote that whole story out in the book as I remembered it.
Wow!
But it's stuff like that. I mean, there's tons of things that have happened.
I remember you telling me that story, but I forgot it was Hugh Plunkett that he saw.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
And for those who didn't see
episode,
number 1,
no,
the history
episode.
Well, we talked about it in the history. Didn't we?
Maybe the history. Yeah.
The murder room, number 4.
Right.
That was the gentleman that was involved with. He was this personal secretary.
Murder suicide was he and Ned.
Yeah. Wow, that's a trip.
Yeah, that was amazing.
From Mr. G.
Mr. G.
Well, thank you, Mr. G.
Yeah.
If you ever hear this, get a hold of us.
See, isn't that interesting? Because a lot of the people, as you know, have these incredible experiences, but they don't want to come forward because they think they'll be made fun of or, said that they're nuts and all this stuff. But like some of these people, like Ranger M and G and a couple of these
police
people,
officer.
yeah, anonymous police officer. They just want to just play it safe. You know,
I understand.
I get it. Yeah, I totally get
the
it.
district attorney, assistant district attorney. You know, they just don't want to tarnish their reputation by people who think, they're crazy. But you've got hundreds of examples from one place.
Literally,
you're not an anomaly. You're not standing out there on an island.
No, the place is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up,
yes,
Andrea.
So this is what he was probably talking about.
I don't know.
I think there are two things within this one story from Andrea.
Okay.
Where she's the one. She's.
Do you want me to play it?
Wait, no,
okay.
no. I just want to say that she was one of the people that would come and clean at night.
Oh.
And she and Vilma, at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this was a night she was by herself, I believe. And let's.
Oh, she doesn't like that, does she?
No. Well, she has the gift majorly. Go ahead. So you tried to get a hold of Vilma, and she didn't want to talk.
She was asleep yesterday,
Okay.
but today when I told her, she was like, "I don't believe you. I don't believe you."
Why would she not believe you?
Because it's not happening to her, and I hope it doesn't happen to her.
Wow. Okay. Well, tell me what happened to you then. This is yesterday, the 22nd.
Yesterday, the 22nd, I got here around maybe 10-ish.
At night.
At night or even later. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I got in, when I was driving in, the bridge that is on top of, I saw a figure there. There was someone, but I couldn't look up. I was so scared I couldn't look up. I just saw it with
Up on the bridge looking
at you?
Looking
at me, down.
Okay.
So today I went up there to see if there was a plant or something, because I said, there must be something. No, there's nothing on the bridge.
Mm-mm.
But it wasn't dark. It was kind of white.
That's good.
Yeah. I've never seen anything white before.
Okay.
Not in my entire life, honestly.
Wow.
It was a white figure. I came here, and I felt the day that I was talking to you and her inside the library.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday. Was it Friday or? Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking inside, I think it was the library or the dining room? I'm not
It was
sure.
the dining room.
The dining room?
Yeah.
I felt 5 times that someone did this to my hair again. But last night, I felt it, and then all of a sudden they pulled my hair back.
But where did that take place?
Last night it was inside the ladies' room.
Okay.
I cleaned in the firehouse.
Right.
I cleaned the men's room. I felt everything I felt the energy. Like a weird energy all over the place, and I could feel it in my body.
Tell me what that feels like, because I don't know.
Like you're having some kind of electricity all over your body.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes up and down, and all of a sudden it stopped. So I went rushing to the ladies' restroom, and I was cleaning the mirror, and I was looking at the mirror, cleaning it, and there was no one behind me, and I felt when they pulled my hair back. They just grabbed me by the hair and pulled it back.
And how hard did they pull you back?
Hard.
Really?
It didn't hurt, but it was hard. Like calling on my attention, like, hey. So I turned around. I knew there was no one. I turned around and I started talking to him.
And what did you say?
I just said, if you want to look at me, just show yourself up. I want to talk to you. Just stop doing this to me. Nothing.
No response. You didn't see anybody.
No response. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
But how it had to frighten you, right, when that happened?
Yeah, I felt really scared. In fact, I left the trash. I never do that. I left the trash inside the storage room, and even the water. I didn't empty the bucket. I just said, you know what, I'm done. I'll be here tomorrow morning. And I left. When I left, I couldn't bear to look up the bridge. As I was driving down, I was scared. Because every time I get in the car, I'm okay. Last night I was scared. I was scared until I got out of the property. So it's the third time in less than 2 weeks that they pull my hair. That they touch my hair, but this time is they pull it. The first 2 times they just kind of, first it was like 3 times, then 5, yeah. And this time they just pull it.
Now, can you sense whether that's a male or a female You
No.
can't tell.
No, no. But I know they want my attention.
Yeah.
This last time, it's like they really want my attention.
So did you get? You had the goosebumps. Did you get any like sweats or any of this? Just goosebumps. Like
No, I got the sweats
energy.
when I left. Yeah, when I got out of here, I started sweating. When I was here, I couldn't even sweat. There was no breeze. There was nothing. Everything was still. And the only thing I remember is that everything was still, but the light here was on. It was towards the house, towards that entry.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see everything still, but some leaves moving, making a shadow move. And I was like, really?
Wow. So, and that was, so the only incidences you had last night was
In the firehouse.
Firehouse. Let's see what this is. Okay. So that must be, I mean, I just can't imagine having that happen to me and how I would feel. It would scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, because I was looking into the mirror because I was cleaning the mirror.
Oh my God, I just can't believe that. And so you're by yourself, you have nobody to talk to, and that's when you called Velma and said, hey.
I texted her daughter, and let me check at what time I texted her.
Mm-hmm.
10:51. Baby, do you know if your mom is awake? I think she's asleep. All the lights in her room are off. Okay, thank you. 10:51.
So now you have to come here. That was last night?
That was last night.
So now you have to come here tonight?
No.
Who's going to be here tonight? Anybody?
Luisa and her husband.
Okay.
Yeah, Luisa's gonna be here tonight.
Yeah,
She's here Monday through Friday. She has never talked about it.
Do you think she has had things happen to her?
Yes, I
do
do believe that, yeah.
Would you find out for me as my friend?
I don't want to lose another Janet.
She didn't want to talk to her because she'd lose another. If she didn't know,
right,
all she has to do is mention the place is haunted,
Right.
and she's going to go, I'm out.
Or if she knows the place is creepy and nothing's really happened to her and she says, I got my hair yanked, then they're done.
I wonder how many people literally they lost because of the creepiness.
Well, they maybe lost working there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they may have said, look, okay, we'll
I'm not
put you
gonna do
over
this,
at cold
right,
water or whatever
right,
and have you
right.
clean that. But that must have been horrifying.
Oh.
And just to see a figure, when you're coming into the property and you go up behind by the bowling alley is this back driveway. And you have to go that way to get the AFI lot. And there's a bridge that connects above. And that's what...
It's an archway. It's not a bridge, right? Because
Well-
there's nothing, you don't drive over it or walk over it.
No, but it's a
just-
walking bridge.
I think
in
it was
essence.
architectural thing.
Yeah, because it takes you into the gardens. From the house to the gardens.
Oh, it's a walking bridge.
Yeah, and to see something looking down at you. Now, she said it was white, which I was told white spirits are okay. That's what Gabe saw at the front at the grand entry. He saw a white ghost up above in the second floor landing. But for her to see that and go, oh my God, there's somebody up there, and then get to the firehouse and feel an off vibe. Well, what do you think that is? You know, if she's just seeing an apparition.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's real creepy.
Yeah, man. She had so many things happen to her when she worked there because she has the gift.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they tried to contact her or connect with her in that bathroom is, you know, we know you can feel us, so I'm going to let you feel this, you know.
Well, this is your story again. This is what you're
I'm just saying,
saying what the ghosts are thinking.
That is what I said was correct.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. It's documented.
Well, next up.
Yes.
This is Che. Is he under the bridge? His is a wacky story.
Okay. Now, you heard Andrea say that she felt like it was, you know, electricity kind of, right? Mm-hmm. Let's listen to Ranger Chasen Yee, Che Yee. Let's hear what his story is about that kind of corroborates Andrea. This is Phantasmo.
Huh?
It's great.
Oh.
Okay.
Saturday night, I was getting off my shift. It was about 10:30 in the evening, and it was a very cold night. And I had my windshield wiper going because I had morning dew. And just as I get to this area here where the bridge is, I came to a complete stop due to the fact there was some type of silhouette or a black smoke that went across my car. At that moment on, I was...
That's right, don't worry.
That moment, it wasn't a goosebump. It was but my whole body was electrified from the head to toe.
So you're driving down this lane.
Correct.
And the first thing happens is you see some kind of black mist.
Mist, silhouette.
And where did it come from?
From this wall, across my car, into this wall here, the movie theater.
Comes out of the wall to the right here, comes across and goes into, in essence, really the bowling alley, right?
Alley.
And so you see this, and what did you think it was when you first saw it?
I didn't know what it was. That's why I slammed on my brake of the car and just put my hand on my steering wheel and said to myself, what the hell was that? And that's when my whole body was electrified, just energy.
So you had your headlights on.
I had the headlights on.
So when the headlights hit the black mist, was it solid? Was it see-through?
See-through.
Really? It was see-through? So it looked like, almost like, in essence, smoke?
Yeah, that's what I thought, but it was moving across the car.
And it was black?
Dark, black, brown. It was like a shadow almost.
And was it a shadow of, did it look like a human being? Or
it wasn't, it was just like figure. There's no indication it was a human face or human body, but it was just like a smoke just going across in front of me.
So when you're driving, you see that. What are your first thoughts when you see that?
Oh my God, what the was that?
Okay. And so it goes, and you hit your brakes, it's in front of your car, and it goes into this wall to the left, which is the bowling alley.
Correct.
And now you're stopped here. What are you thinking?
What the hell just happened? At that moment on, I put my gas pedal to the floor and I just took off, went down to the service gate.
Okay, but wait a minute. When you drove away, what happened as you were driving?
My body was just still electric.
So you went when you went through the path of this mist, is that when you got the electrification?
Right. When it was passing through me, passing through the car, that's when I was electrified.
Yeah, okay. So it's in essence, it's already gone into the wall, but you're passing its path where it went, and that was still electrified in essence. So that when you went through that,
correct,
it gave you a buzz. What did it feel like?
I was being electrocuted, like electricity running through my body.
Really, that's strong.
It was that tense, yeah. It wasn't goosebump feeling. It was just zinged as that when you touch live wire,
like a socket.
It was that feeling, but the whole entire body went through the whole body.
Wow. Here's an odd question, but did you see it affect your car in any way?
No, it did not.
Okay.
No, it just my body only.
Affected you only.
Yeah.
You drove through.
I drove through.
Then what was going through your mind? Now it's just happened. You're driving.
I was just surprised. I couldn't believe what I just saw or what happened to me. And the first thing I did is when I got out to the street on the other side of the gate, I called other Ranger Chad, and I told him what I saw, what had happened to me. And he couldn't believe it either.
Went into the bowling alley. I wonder where it went from there. Who knows, right?
Who knows? Roaming around the mansion. The 12 years I've been employed with the city and working at the mansion, I refuse to watch any scary paranormal movie, any even comedies type, any scary movie. I just can't do it.
Because?
The fact that this place just gives me the creep, the heebie-jeebies, especially at night.
Is he? Oh my God! I love Che. I love him, man. He's such a good guy. I hope you're well, Che. And that story of the mist coming out and then driving through and getting electrified because of the energy. Imagine how strong that spirit is. That spirit must be. Maybe it's the spirits down the basement. I'm just saying, because that thing is the demon is nuts. But to have your whole body be electrified must have been just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish that would have happened to me. I wish I could have felt that, where you go, wow, that's from the other side.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah,
that's from out here.
I would love to have felt that.
Yeah.
Just to get
Damn,
some.
that's crazy.
I know.
Thank you, Che. Thanks for that.
Yes, thank you, Che. He's a great guy.
Yep.
All right. Let's wrap up the season.
Oh.
Can you believe this? 20 episodes.
Wow.
This is one of your favorites. I think you ended the book with this, didn't you? The story, David Garrard?
Yeah.
Great.
So I have again, how many stories in the book?
237.
Okay. So top 3 for me. This is one in the top 3. And I'll set you up.
You saw him at the credit union.
So that's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
So what happened was I was writing the book at this time, and I was out looking for anybody. Who's my next victim, that worked at Greystone. And David worked down in the trailer by the stables for quite some time, and then he moved out of there into the City Hall area. But he ended up, well, I'll let him tell the story.
Yeah, don't tip it.
No, I'm going to tip it. Tip it. It's just, it's just... when he told me, when I met him at the credit union, I saw him and just said, "Hey, David, how you doing?" He goes, "Hey, Clete, what's going on?" I go, "Not much." "Hey, man, I got a question for you." Go, "Sure." And I said, "Did anything ever happen to you at Greystone?" He goes, What do you mean?" "I mean, like paranormal." Yeah, well, he was like, he did not want to talk about it. I go, "David, come on, man. I've known you like 15 years. I just want 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes." All right. He had never told anybody, by the way. And we walked out.
Including?
You'll find out. We walked out. Don't tip it.
All right.
We walked out into the...
He tells this story. This is set up, right?
This is not it.
All right.
We walked out to the parking lot. Instead of 5 minutes, it was 17 minutes, because I remember watching Marley.
Oh, this was in the parking lot of the credit
union.
Oh.
And he told me this, and I was riveted. It's so out there and so far beyond.
Let the audience
I have to tell you myself.
Yeah, let them make the decision.
So what he did was...
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
How riveting it is.
Yes.
So it was probably... I don't even know when the trailer was down there. 2000, maybe 9... 2008, 2009, and the trailer was at the lower area of Greystone, and I came in to do a event on Rodeo Drive in the middle of the night. So
like what time in the middle of the night?
So what the deal was is that I worked out on Rodeo Drive until about 2:30 in the morning, and we had a break, and I went up to Greystone where my office was, and I sat at my desk, which was it overlooked the parking lot, and you could close the door, and it was the last office on the end. There was 2 offices there in a main lobby area. I was the one that you could look at. I had the window view of the parking lot.
And that was a trailer, right?
That was the trailer.
Okay.
So I went in there and I was checking emails, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to take a half-hour snooze because it's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning."
Mm-hmm.
And the guys were starting to come in at 4:30 in the morning. Okay, so I worked all night. I said, "Hey, I'll take a half-hour snooze." And as I was sitting there, the old computer was sitting there. This is what was weird, is that I turned the computer off, and I sat there, and I put my head back, and the door was open, but the office door was open, but the door to come into the trailer was kind of in the middle of the trailer. There was nobody there, and I'm kind of like not asleep, but I'm just kind of keeping my eyes back there, just kind of resting for a minute. And all of a sudden, I hear something knock on the door, like a knock. Okay, you look out the window, and there was one light out there. There was no cars except for my city truck, and you can see when people come in the gate. There's no other way to get into Greystone. There was nobody there, especially at 2:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I hear this knock on the door, and it freaked me out. And I said, "I'm not going to answer that door at 2:30 in the morning because it is dark and there is nobody up here." So I sat there.
What were you thinking that it could be? Just some like homeless guy?
So, but this is the deal: is that there I have seen deer going into the property. I have seen deer either walk by the trailer or up on the main lawn. This was like a knock, and I said, F that. I am not. It freaked me out. So I closed the door to my office because this was the side door to get into the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I closed the door, my door to my office, and sat there and thought, oh my God, what? I didn't know what to do. I kind of froze. But this is what's weird is when I looked out the window, there was an illumination of something that went across that wall that was there, because the trailer was up against that brick wall. And then this was before the driveway kind of went. It's different now, but the driveway went up the middle, and I felt and saw this presence of something. It was like a ghost. It was like a white illumination of something that went by, and I could feel it.
And tell me what you mean by you could feel it.
You could feel like that. The hairs on your arms stood up, and you're like, you didn't know what it was, but you could see it, like the color of your shirt, like the white.
Yeah.
Like purple, like almost translucent, and I had blinds. I remember because there was just like mini blinds on that window. They were open, not like just like where you could see through the mini blinds.
Yeah.
And whatever that thing was went up towards the driveway out of my sight, and I said, I'm not getting the out of this trailer. Victor, of all people, always came in early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm not leaving here until one of my guys comes in.
And did you not leave?
I did not leave. And that's what I saw. And then Victor came in like 45 minutes later to get his coffee. And then when I saw him pull in the driveway, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to open up the door to my office.
Did you tell Victor what you saw?
No.
You never told anybody,
no.
Right?
It freaked me out so bad I didn't even want to talk about it. I don't know what it was, and it was almost like I sensed it was almost like in New York where they have like the horse and buggy where they take you down the street,
mm-hmm.
like you can rent one, or that's what it was like.
Meaning,
it was like I felt this. It looked. What I felt and what I kind of saw, it reminded me of like a horse and carriage going up the driveway.
So it wasn't a person. It was like a
vision of a horse and carriage going, like an old horse and carriage, kind of like the kind where you have like where the old fire trucks, the original fire trucks behind a horse, like that. Dude, look.
I see you got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So
it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Okay. So, but you couldn't see individuals or anything. It was just this vision of a horse and carriage in essence.
Correct.
And
it was like purple, like a translucent, like bright purple.
And there was that illumination literally kind of lit up a little bit.
Correct. As it was going up towards the gatehouse, because up that driveway.
Right.
But it was an asphalt driveway to the main driveway, and which was in front of my office door or my window, and then that's where I saw it, and it kind of just disappeared towards in the driveway. It just kind of went by the window and went towards, and I just freaked out.
Okay, so did you follow it as far as it could go and it dissipated, or you just went, I don't want to see anymore, I'm done?
It kind of, as it went up the driveway and kind of turned, it did that turn.
By the gatehouse?
By the gatehouse, I lost it. You couldn't see it anyway.
I've never heard anything like that.
So that was, this is probably the first time, I'd have to look, it was like 2000, probably 2008 or 2, because I started in 2002. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, probably at 2008, 2009. Because they had me come in for Rodeo Drive the first night that they did it.
I remember that.
And then I've done that every year, but that was the first year that I came in, and we was in it like at 6 o'clock at night, and we worked till 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I had a break, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to stay. And I just went back to my office.
Now, did it freak you out to
like the next time being in the office or any time at night down there that you might see it again?
So when they moved the trailer to where it is now, still my office, I went in there one time. I had to pick something up out of the stables, and once again it was pitch dark at 2 o'clock in the morning. I did not see anything, but I was freaked the out because it was so dark, and I didn't want to see anything come down that driveway.
Okay. I totally understand that.
So, and then another thing is, I brought my wife up here for her 40th birthday, which was almost 4 years ago, and my kids, and we went and ate at Bouchon, whatever one it was there. I said, hey, my youngest daughter says, hey, show me where your office is. So this is about 10:30 at night, and I opened up the gate, and we drove up the west courtyard to the mansion.
Yeah.
And my daughter asked me, she says, is that where all the ghosts, is that where, like, bad things have happened here, right? And I said, well, yeah, and there's some stories of some ghosts and things like that. And as I rolled down the window, I turned around in the driveway, the west courtyard.
Yep.
And I looked at my wife and I said, it's completely different when it's so dark up here. I said, it's time to go. And we drove down and went to Tower Records.
Okay.
Anytime, I was never scared in the daytime when people were up there. But when it's pitch dark and there is nobody there, no. No. And I don't get freaked out with stuff like that, but that thing freaked me the out.
Okay. Thank you.
Whatever was going up that, I don't know what it was like. It was like an old fire truck with a horse going up the driveway. And like the movie like Avatar, where it's all like translucent like that. That's what it was like.
What do you think it was? What do you think it was?
It was a ghost. It was I don't know. It was a presence of a horse and a buggy going up the hill. It was a presence of something.
It was real, though. It was real, right? I mean, this actually happened. Because you're not sleeping and thinking like that.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
No. It was weird.
Did it change your perception of that location then, from then on? Because you'd heard about ghosts.
Yeah.
But you went, okay, people talk about it, but once you saw that.
Yeah. It just, I choose not to let my mind go there, which is why I've never talked about it with anybody except you.
Okay. Because I've known you, I don't know how many years, 15 years, whatever, you've never said this to me.
Yeah, because that stuff, I don't believe in that stuff, but after that night, it was hard to say that it didn't happen. Because it happened.
You're a believer now.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I mean, it was like a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I said, it was like the thing in Avatar where it's all translucent, that purpley, clear white. It's like the color of your shirt almost, like that white but purple, and it was weird.
And you felt the energy off of that?
Yeah.
I mean, but how far away, how close did it ever come to you?
Well, probably about from here. Well, outside the window of the driveway, probably from here, 15 feet?
Okay, yeah. So from that
15 feet,
you could feel the energy off of that apparition.
Yeah, and I could see the it's like almost like a neon, the light from it. You could almost like a fluorescent light. You could see it.
So you could see it and you could feel it.
Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome to me. I wish that happened to me. I'd love to see something like that.
that was it. And then it just went around the driveway by the gatehouse, and then it was just kind of was gone. It just was dark again. So let's put it this way. It was so clear that if somebody was driving by or came into the parking lot, how could you not see it?
So who knocked at your door?
I don't know.
Was it somebody on that horse and carriage that wanted you to see them, or was it...
Don't know.
Somebody wanted to
but
get in?
It was, I mean, like a full-on knock.
Solid.
And if a deer, if let's say an animal did that, an animal doesn't knock like a knock.
No.
It was a knock.
Yeah. It wasn't like footsteps on the ramp. It was a knock on the door.
It was a knock on the door. So this wasn't a person. This was just it was like I said, like an old fire between a carriage and a fire carriage, like those old, before they had fire trucks. So it's like a horse and buggy, or like a horse and carriage type thing.
But you didn't see any people, any kind of.
But the horse was just. But you could see like the reins.
Yeah.
And however they attach it to the horse.
Right. You could see that. You could literally see the reins from the horse to the carriage,
and it went by, and it just went up the hill and just kind of went to the left and disappeared.
Man.
And that was it. But the knock on the door, that's when I went, oh, I'm not going out there, because it's pitch dark, man.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It gets really dark down there. Still is.
Pitch dark. And even if you had some crazy bastard up there, you open up the door, how's anybody going to know?
Is that it for him?
Yeah.
Because here's something he also said that I remember, and it was probably in another conversation. The carriage had lights on all four corners, he said. On all four corners. And he said the wood of, this is how specific he was. He said the wood of the carriage looked like old barn wood, like an old barn that had been out in the weather.
Yeah.
That's what the wood looked like around the carriage.
Ooh.
I mean, that's specific. And if you think about it, Chris, they had a firehouse there, right? Remember at I think it was episode 1 I talked about, it was 429 acres originally. That was the firehouse for 429 acres.
Right.
So if something happened, they had to get the horse to the carriage and with the water cylinder and go out to the fire. And this is going up toward that area. So, and that's not the only horse story we have. We have another one in the book that's like just off the charts too. Is that the greatest though, man?
Yeah, that was wonderful. You're not going to get anybody straighter than David.
Yeah, he's he doesn't believe in this stuff.
Did he ever tell his wife? I mean, she knows now if she watches this or listens to it.
She'll know now. No, he told me that he never told his wife. I was the only one he ever told.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you've outed him for...
Well, but he's in the book too.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
if she read, I gave him a book. So if read the book.
Yeah.
So, boy, thanks, David. One of my favorite stories of all time.
Yeah.
To see something like that. That blew my mind.
Well, it's very clear, very concise, articulate.
But that's why I was thinking when I didn't prompt him.
Right.
I said, okay. Well, and there was this illumination. Okay. I didn't say of a person, of a ghost, I wanted to, and then he tells me it's a carriage, and it just blew my mind. I was going like, what? God, that's
that's
so
when
crazy.
you were doing the book. So you thought, this is...
I knew it was like gold.
Yeah, because it is.
Yeah, man. He's just the greatest too. I love this guy. He's a great.
Well,
guy.
I have to say, this has been quite an adventure to do this, to take this on. We've never even thought about doing it, and we had some... talk about it. We talked a little bit about doing the podcast and all that stuff. So it's been really, really fun.
Yeah.
I have a few things to share before we jettison, but why don't I give my little thank yous?
Yeah, we'll do that.
And then we can set up the
do your
final
thing, and I'll jump
Okay.
in.
Do you want to start?
No, I just want to say that again, what Chris said is that he asked me to do a podcast, and I said no, because I didn't see what the point of doing a podcast would be, and I thought we were just going to use our cell phone and set it on the table and just go, hey everybody, so what happened to me, when all that stuff, and then after I said yes, within a week, this we get in a studio, and it's amazing.
A studio,
yeah. So first of all, I want to thank everybody who came forward that's in the book. And again, not the promo of the book, but I'm going to do it right now.
Oh,
sorry.
That's a promo.
There it is. Look at right on top of the big fella.
We are very proud of this book.
Yeah, and it's like, 237 stories or what have you, and we've just heard, 60 of the 237. So if you dig this stuff, just check it out.
Yeah, we've heard between 60 and 90 stories during this podcast.
This is how amazing is that?
Yeah.
So I just want to thank all the people that came forward, that I interviewed, all my friends who are the Rangers. I love you guys, and the people that had the nerve to come forward that I didn't know, that were working on the theater and all that stuff, that came forward and said, "Hey, this really happened to me. Thank you so much for doing that." Also, thank you. I love you, and I appreciate you for asking me to do this and be another part of a creative adventure between ourselves.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing in my life.
Best thing to do.
Yeah. And so thank you all. He has some other people just to
I
chat.
just want to make sure. I jotted these down today, and people have probably already gone anyway. They turned it off. They don't
wait,
give
because
a crap.
don't leave, because I've got something special at the end of the show.
We do. It's very funny.
Go ahead.
But thank you. My thank yous that I jotted down. First and foremost, Clete.
Thank you, sir.
Most talented person I've ever known. I love him, and I love working with him.
Thank you.
We'll always have, we always do have fun.
Yeah.
And thank you for allowing me to use your studio.
Thank you. See, we got a studio.
A studio that's put you out for about 3 months.
Just because I had to drive to the studio for 3 months.
You're going to find out. You're going to find out at the end of this.
What does that mean?
And you'll see. And to the 86 people that we interviewed, that are in the book, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Our producer,
yes,
Miss LKK, couldn't have done it without her. There would be no podcast literally without LKK, and we thank you for that. She's,
as always,
amazing and has helped us out in many, many, many projects.
Yeah.
Ari at Beverly Hills, that's the gentleman I was talking to. He's a great guy. That's who I was talking to about starting this. And he goes, "You guys should do it." And I was, well, I don't know what's, and he just drilled me for a couple minutes, and then I walked away from him and thought, maybe we can do that. He thinks we can do it. I'll just research the equipment and see what we can come up with. And that was really fun.
Wow.
And then also the Ariadna, who is forever my inspiration. Ari, she's the one that I brought her the book. She was in the hospital. I brought her the book, and she looks at it and she goes, "You should," it was called The Ghosts of Greystone. And she just looks at it. She's a little girl.
At that time.
Yeah. And she said, "You don't need the." And I went, "That's brilliant."
Should have taken the book back.
Should have hit her over the head with it. Ghosts of Greystone. That's brilliant. And so I've called her the Ariadna since then.
Nice.
And then to Christy, obviously, my wife, whose honesty and love has changed my life, literally.
Yeah.
She's an incredible person. Casey.
Yes. Casey, who...
My sister, who Clete held out in front of him to protect himself in episode 10.
Don't listen to that. That was a mistake.
Yeah, and for her never-ending love and support, Casey, you are...
We love you, Casey.
As Dad says, you are his angel.
Yeah.
And I know we've lost everybody.
We lost everybody.
They don't care.
We're almost done, though. But I got some stuff for you you're gonna love.
Okay. Many other people to thank, but you know who you are. Particularly lifelong friends like Bill, Joe, Javier.
Yep.
You guys are there forever.
Yep.
And finally, to our parents who allowed us to carve our paths freely. We miss them terribly.
Yeah.
And now.
Yeah.
After that, we have probably 3 more people here. Go ahead and set this up
Christy.
now. Christy's probably
Casey.
Yeah, right. And Bill and Joe and Javier.
There you go. We got 5.
He'll set this up. What you're going to see. For those of you who are listening, it won't translate at all.
Yeah.
But so jump to YouTube. There'll be a chapter marker for it, and you can go right to it.
Yeah.
If you want to do that.
Yeah. This what we'll do before our final goodbyes here. But what I want to tell you, what you're going to get into is we used to, at Greystone, the Rangers, we used to try to scare each other. And how we did it was we made up this dummy.
Who's we? Who started that?
Probably Steve Clark.
Yeah, probably you.
I don't think
Clete
so.
did.
I really
know.
don't. I honestly think it was Steve.
It could have been, but
the wig was mine.
Okay.
I don't know how
well, I'm hedging the bet toward you, but go ahead.
So we found this statue kind of dummy thing, and we dressed it up and made it look absolutely. We'll put photos on there for you. Absolutely frightening, and there were times that I would take this. It's like 6'3", 6'4", big. I would take this thing, I'd load it downstairs into the grand hall, go all the way to the East Court to the door where Brooke saw the girl go across at night. I would hide behind the door and I'd wait for tours sometimes to come through. And they would always come to that door and, look inside the window to the grand hall. And I'd have this huge dummy and I'd just go, I'd lean this thing from. They would scream, and I'd pull it back, and I'd run and hide so they couldn't find me. So we would do this to each other, and honest to God, and there's some I couldn't find them all, and some we didn't record because we're never going to do anything like this.
No.
But we did record a couple, and you're going to see those pretty soon here. For those who are,
We're going to see it right now.
Okay, right now you're going to see these, and
we'll come right back.
We have to bleep a lot, and it's honestly, of course, it's me twice and Chris once. Is when we were scared. That was probably Dan setting it up, by the way.
I'm an easy target.
Yeah, well, trust me. So,
yeah. All right, so let's look at those right now.
Okay.
Or listen to them as well.
All right.
Oh, you bitch. Oh, you. Idiot. Where are you? You're a man.
It would scare the hell out of me.
Just
it's just so scary. And that thing's still there, by the way.
So, it is?
Yeah, it's still up there.
Oh.
Yeah. In fact, we have one I think I can find. Well, we'll talk later.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, listen, love you for being there for us. And this is it for us. So this is a documentation of the ghost of Greystone from the people, the words themselves. Mm-hmm. And it'll never be done again.
Nope.
This is it. And I'm thrilled we got to do 20 episodes, which blows my mind.
Incredible.
Because the first one we did, we go, what are we going to do? We got through it, and we thank you. And the main thing from all this is what I say every show is just because you can't see it, like Andrea in the restroom looking in the mirror and having her hair pulled, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. Thank you, everybody, for being there for us.
100 horses in 5 freight trains couldn't drag me into that early grave. I've cashed in the mistakes I've made while God rode shotgun from 1,000,000 miles away. I don't wake in sorrow, I don't walk in shame, I don't deal in hearsay, I don't dwell in blame. Sometimes it's best to forget what I know and what they say, but this ain't that time, and this ain't that day. till the trail grows cold, where the hillsides burn, amber and smoke. The sheep and the shepherd are lost on different roads, blinded by hate, blinded by hope. I don't wake in sorrow, I don't walk in shame, I don't deal in hearsay, I don't dwell in blame. Sometimes it's best to forget what I know and what they say, but this ain't that time. I don't wake in sorrow, I don't walk in shame, I don't deal in hearsay, I don't dwell in blame. Sometimes it's best to forget what I know and what they say, but this ain't that time. And this ain't that day.